campfire madness after the Metagross mega raids. Stay tuned to listen more on what happened, and we're going to have receipts on this. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to another episode of Nufftingz Speaks with your host, Nufftingz. Now, as you heard in the intro, we had ourselves a very filling Sunday. Now, as you know, Mega Metagross was Saturday, right? Sunday was a down day. Nothing's happening. But campfire was bumping. Now, I'm going to tell you what happened. So, to start things off, we're going to go a little back on this now, right? So, I had said some stuff in my previous video, and no one saw this yet. Like, when this started, my video wasn't even up yet. But it's been an ongoing issue with the ambassador and me, right? But a lot of it's come down to, my whole theory is, the problem that's going on here is that it's not even us. If it was me, I would say, yo, it's me. But the problem is, her group is just out for blood. Like, they're literally just here to cause problems. Now, at the Metagross raid day, right? What we saw, it was bright as day. Like, I wish I had a camera to show you. So, the people that were in with the ambassador's group was people we never see, right? It's just people that roll with her alone. And as you know, I'm at every event, right? A majority of us that come to these events have been here for a while. We have people that have been here going to square one since 2016. Like, we have OGs and they've never seen these people. The people that were rolling with our ambassador was her friends, which is cool. You brought new people to the game, but if you don't keep them quiet, they're going to bark up the wrong tree, which is what they did. Now, people say to me all the time that I'm just whining and whatever. You know what? Maybe I am whining. I'm going to take responsibility for that. Maybe I was wrong to put up videos saying that she was doing, nonsense. But you know what? People don't have a say anymore. And it's because she wants to keep us all down with an iron fist. And she then sends her henchmen or her henchwomen to handle it for her. Not once has she ever stood up and said anything to defend herself. She has talked crap to me privately, but besides that, no. It's never been, there's been no adult conversation with her. It's just glamour shots. It's really what it is to me. It's all been an ego trip for this ambassador, right? Now, I'm not doing this video to dog her. I've already done more than enough of that. But what happened this weekend really shows that something ain't right here. Like, the people are not here to help us. They're not here to build a community. They're here to tear down something, right? So, the event was fine, right? She had her own little group. There was like 5 other groups. We were all doing things. There was a particular part where she did a community photo. Now, mind you, there was like 10 people in this photo. While she was taking that photo, while this lady was doing it, and I'm cool with her boyfriend, I know them well, they're good people. His girlfriend, I'm not going to say the names, she took the picture. I stood next to her and took the same picture. It wasn't exactly the same time. It was like she did the shot, then 2 seconds later, I did the shot. Because my shot was like, okay, you know what? I don't want to get these people again to come together again. Because, like I've said, my group, we're not here for the pics. We're here spreading out, beating whatever we're beating, right? People are trying to get these raids done and get as many as they can, right? So, I took the picture, right? Now, the picture had the ambassador in it. Now, as you know, as I've said before in many videos, me and the ambassador don't vibe at all. That's funny because that's her name. We don't vibe at all. Not 1%. Like, it feels like there's hatred coming from that ambassador towards me now, right? So I said, when I took the picture, I'm going to take her out. So what did I do? I went home and I told my daughter, you'll Photoshop this picture for me. She's the one with the creativity when it comes to the thumbnails, right? She usually does my thumbnails. She took her out and then put my banner there. Okay, so we photoshopped her out of the picture. The reason why is because I knew if I left her in the picture, it would have been a problem. Now I take her out of the picture and it was still a problem because people are just fishing for problems. Now, what happened was we went later on in the day, right? As in Sunday, like Saturday's done now, right? Now Sunday comes and my campfire, in the words of Ad, my campfire is going viral. Yeah, it's not going viral. It was bumping, as in like there was a lot of problems. So what was going on was her people started to jump in the campfire and started to defend her honor. Okay. Now the first thing that happened was this. One person, and I'm gonna post pictures up to show you guys what's going on. So here's the first one. And when I post these up, they're not gonna have their pictures, their names, any of that. I'm gonna do the best I can to cut out whatever. PSA to the community, right? Now, mind you, this person doesn't have admin status, so they can't tag everybody into it like an everyone. It's important to be aware that Nufftingz has been creating harmful content targeting the ambassador's name. I'm not going to say it, and spreading misinformation. This behavior has been ongoing for months despite being banned from the community. He continues to post videos. Let's be clear, you can't claim to represent the community while actively tearing down another ambassador. This is not what leadership looks like. Niantic has been notified about the situation and the content in question. We encourage everyone to stay informed and stand against harassment in all forms. Okay, so let's backtrack for a second now. When this popped up, it started a fight, right? Like this was going to start a fight. Now, what had happened before this that really started this was that earlier Sunday morning, Saturday, the dude, Gym Adjuster, had posted a thing targeting me, saying that, do not join the other campfire, blah, 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 which then in turn got into an argument between me and him the Saturday, right? He wasn't about the argument. He was terrified. He could tell you he wasn't terrified, but he was terrified, right? And you know what? I wasn't threatening him, any of that. What it was that, it was two grown men having a conversation. We've since patched that up. I have no issues with dude. I had a conversation with him after we talked and we said, you know what? Let's do this for the community. That was the whole thing, right? Okay. The next day, people started to react to his comment. Now, his comment had said, do not join the other group. And he didn't say because they don't have an ambassador. He just said, don't go. And he's been doing this for months. So someone finally said something. And someone said something about, because I can't show you now because they deleted this. Like they literally deleted this. This person says, join what meetups? Because like I've said before, the ambassador does not host anything. So you telling people join this meetup, it doesn't work because there is no meetups. What is there to join? The only meetups are mine, right? So, and we've also I've established this, if you've listened to my videos, that she doesn't want a second ambassador. She wants to be the only one, right? She's made that obvious. Like she doesn't want any promotion of another meetup or any ambassador or a new, I can't even talk. She doesn't want any promotion of somebody else being ambassador in her area, right? That's literally what it is. Like I said before, she stole the name that I changed ours to. Like she even took our location. She took everything and then did it for herself, right? So anyways, now let me go back to what I'm saying now. So when this happened, right, people were like, yo, there's no meetups. And then the comments started getting, the reactions, the 100. Like people were like, yo, agreeing with this. She then deletes it and bans that person. Other people now started to say something. She then bans anybody else that had any negative stuff to say about her being an ambassador. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. If you're an ambassador of a group, right? And you aren't doing what you're supposed to, isn't critique from the environment, from the people, from the community a good thing? Isn't people saying, look, we like you as ambassador, but you're not doing anything. Can you try to do better? There's been no information. Like, we've heard that she got a new job and is leaving. We also heard that she's moving to LA, but there's been no telltale of any of this. There's been no told. There's been no telltale of any of this. No one said to us, she's never sat down or looked at everybody while everybody was there and said, look, guys, this is what's going on. Like, you don't have to get into details, but be like, look, I'm relocating. I won't be able to do it. I might come every 2 months and do one, and that's it. You don't have to then stop someone else doing the same thing. Like, not the same thing, as someone else trying to take your place. Like, there's no need to do that if you don't care enough to stay, right? I'm not saying not to go get your job. Do you make your money, boo-boo, but you have an obligation to tell us, or not tell me because I don't give a crap, but tell the people that are behind you and trying to get the medal, trying to get the rewards, whatever, right? So that was the whole thing with that. Now, when she started banning people, it got really bad. As in, she started really banning people. So then after that was done, this person came into my campfire. It's not my campfire, but like, I'm admin. I didn't create it, but the campfire that I'm running, right? I'm not going to sit there and say it's mine. So this is the one the person said it's important to be aware enough things have been creating harmful content. Okay. Anything that I've said about this ambassador has been either seen, told to me, or there's been proof of it with screenshots and whatever, right? I've seen some of the stuff and I don't even see the point in even caring about this. Right. And also it has to do with the fact that majority of the times I've been complaining is because she hasn't hosted anything. She's been secret and never told us anything that's going on. She doesn't host. That's the problem. Why is everybody forgetting about that part? That's the issue. I've said it numerous times. If she hosted, I would not say anything. I would probably be all nice and everything and be like, oh, she's so amazing. High five, girl. Okay. So after that, this other person then goes, this Photoshop is crazy. She lives in your head rent free. Okay, number one, homeboy, she does not live in my head my God, she does not live in my head rent free. I have more than enough things occupying my mind. I'm a grown man with responsibilities, right? The only reason why I talk is because it's entertaining and I'm enjoying it, because I'm speaking on something that irritates the hell out of me, because no matter what this person does, y'all still treat her like she's the greatest thing on the planet, which shows me that y'all are just casual players that come once every month. So get out of here. You don't speak for all of us, so stop. Now, you don't speak for me either, because you ain't saying this to my face. And that was what I responded with. I'm like, bro, you have so much to say online. Come tell me that to my face. I'm not saying there's a fight going to break up, because I'm not fighting anybody. But you're not talking to me. Like, you see me there. You're not talking to me, so shut up. If you're not going to come confront me and say, yo, I don't like what you're doing, homeboy, and let me respond and we have a conversation, or if you want to swing, you can swing, but you're going to miss. But if you want to have a conversation like a grown man and stop hiding behind someone's coattails like that, then we can talk. Now, anyways, the Photoshop is crazy. So he's referring to the Photoshop of what I had my daughter do, right? I would have done it myself if I could do it, but I'm so bad at that stuff. I don't know why. Thumbnails are a problem for me. Videos are fine, but thumbnails, I don't know. So you're a dumbass. Seriously. Like, you're just talking nonsense. Now, someone, I won't mention her name, she decided to respond. So here's what she said, and you can see it on the screen. What misinformation? That she's not been hosting. I've been at all the events, and this one was the very first since when? Rookie D Community Day. Remember I said that? That wasn't me that wrote this. That was somebody else. Whatever things he does outside of this is none of our business. If he's making videos or whatever, that is his freedom of speech. Why is everyone trying to silence everyone these days? Blocking and excluding people for their opinion isn't inclusivity at all. Just my opinion. I never put my opinions out there, but tearing Nufftingz down isn't making anyone look better. It's a game. Relax. Now, I know that this person doesn't agree with everything that I say, but she also knows that I'm not lying. You see, the whole thing is, what did she say? You don't host events. Your ambassador does not host events. That's the big problem that everyone's just glossing over, right? Okay. So then there was, like, I was responding, and I'm not going to show those because I'm pretty ignorant. This video will be forever. Okay, so let me go to this one. Okay, so this is a comment on the photo. Imagine swiping the community ambassador's photo and passing it off as your own. I guess imitation really is the sincerest form of flattery. Okay, so like I said, she was in the picture, as in the ambassador, and I took her out. That was it. Because I knew if I left her in, there'd be a problem. I took her out. And I would expect the same if I was in the picture and it was for her. I would expect her to take me out. So then somebody jumps in and goes, these are clearly two different pics because my man is posing differently in both of them, which is true. Her man in the ambassador's pic was looking directly at that camera, and then on my pic, he was looking directly at my camera. So it's two different photos. And then they go, we participate with the whole community, but as soon as someone has constructive criticism about someone in once again, they say her name, group about a toxic member, they get banned. Make it make sense. You see, I'm not the only one saying this. All right, so then there was one part when I had said stuff about, Campfire has rules, is why I'm not saying what I want to say, because I want to get ignorant, like hardcore ignorant, bro. I want to get so rude. I had lots of dirty things to say, bro, but, I had to keep the Jamaican, the patois in my back pocket. So here's the thing that's really lovely. If Campfire has rules, why do you continue to attend her meetups? Niantic clearly states that anyone banned from a Campfire community should not participate in related meetups. Despite this, you've repeatedly shown up at unannounced gatherings, which has caused discomfort within the community. Okay, this one is funny. Now, we got to talk about this one in detail. Okay, Celebration Square is where we meet up. If you don't know, it's Square One in Mississauga, the biggest spot in Mississauga for anything like this, right? It's like downtown here, right? There's things going on here all the time. It's a public place. During the winter, there's a skating rink. During the summer, there's a water park. They switch it around. It's a place for people to go to publicly. Okay? It's not private. It's not like someone owns it and they can host a meetup and kick anybody out. Now, what it was that I even said, right? Because I was like, I couldn't understand the thinking behind this. Okay, so tell me something. Let's say I wasn't hosting meetups and I appear there. Can they tell security that I'm banned from their meetup, so I have to leave the premises? Would security even take that seriously? I would assume not, because I didn't know Niantic had all that power that the security would just kick me out because they have an issue and they banned me. So that means that all the OGs that were banned can't go to these meetups anymore. So you see my point here? So tell me this. Let's say it was the opposite. Let's say anyone was banned from Celebration because of previous issues, but then there's a meetup. Can we tell security, hey man, they're not banned from our group so they can attend? No. Like, these are children talking. Like, these are kids that have never left their house and still live with mommy and daddy. Clearly. They have no sense of anything. Like, it's wild that you would think that makes any sense. I host my own meetups. As you can see, they joined my meetups. They're literally in my meetups. I've hosted all the meetups coming up for the next 2 weeks. Rayquaza, Deoxys, Dujin, whatever the hell it's called. I can never say the name right. I've hosted all of them. They've joined. So you literally joined. And that's what I even said when they started. I had said, look, I'm not going to be like your ambassador and ban you from the group. Speak your mind. And I let them speak because the ambassador wasn't talking for herself. They were talking for her, like a bunch of henchmen and henchwomen, because it was females too doing it. Like we had girls coming in talking their stuff. And I'm like, dude, all right, okay, whatever, cool. So you're telling me that I can't join, I can't be there because I'm not part of your thing because you banned me? People joined my meetup. We had 49 that joined and 30 checked in. So I hosted a meetup. And here's the other thing. What's with people always trying to get the police involved? And when I say police, I mean, you're calling Niantic or you're sending reports to Niantic about whatever. Your ambassador is not hosting, and that is the big problem. She's not hosting. So in other words, you're going to kill the person that's trying to host and continue this thing going, because when you're ambassador, if she was doing it, I understand that. But she wasn't hosting. Like, she doesn't even do anything. Like, she just sat there. She didn't talk to the community. She didn't give away anything. She didn't do anything. So, what? I can't do it because you're mad, because she's mad? Like, dude, whatever. So, what else was said? Okay, so okay, so then someone had posted, I'm not arguing as the pics are clearly different. Like I said, I know someone in the picture and he's posing differently in both. He took the pic right after her, so he can't take pictures of the same people. Like I said, we play with everyone. No one is excluded, and there are participants in both groups. I just said that. That's literally what I said. And this is what I'm saying. But my people, the people in my community, understand this is what's going on. Right? It was the same pic, but different. You get my point here? Now, okay, I'll take responsibility and say maybe I shouldn't have done it, right? Now, there was one point when I had said that, look, man, I've done my research on what's been going on. I didn't just come out and say random things in videos. I never did that. Whoever comes in here, like someone actually came into my not campfire, in my comment section earlier and said for me not to speak on things that isn't true. And I'm like, based on what? Everything that have said, it's been truthful. There's been proof of this. I don't understand. The only thing now is that this whole OnlyFans thing that she was doing, she literally shut that down. Like, she did have a Discord where you had to be 18 and older. And here's where it gets funny. So this person, what research have you actually done? Her Discord is 18 plus to protect herself and her community from inappropriate behavior or misunderstandings. She has never had spicy content and is important to recognize that confirmation bias can lead people to misinterpret what they see online. Unless you know her personally, the core issue here is that you're creating drama without reason, just to fit a narrative that isn't based on facts. Okay, now, I'm part of a whole bunch of streaming communities, right? She's a streamer, right? Okay, dude, I'm so annoyed with this now, just remembering this and making my head hot. Okay, I've talked to many streamers. I'm in part of a whole bunch of streaming groups, a whole bunch of streaming Discords. And I've only known that streamers that have 18 plus as, a thing is for the ones that sell spicy content. And maybe there's others that don't, and I'm not saying there isn't. But me personally, you usually have 18 plus because you're selling stuff that is inappropriate for children. You're not going to sell that and have kids. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay, now, the whole thing, oh my God, this is so dumb. I don't even know why I have to talk about this stuff, honestly. But, what about, so it being 18 plus is to protect herself and her community from inappropriate behavior or misunderstandings. So you're telling me that someone that's 18 plus isn't going to be inappropriate? So that's a lock? So, oh yeah, it's 18 plus, so the inappropriate people aren't going to be there. So the guys that want you to put, their name on your foot, for you to put their name on your toes, and they'll pay you money for that. Those guys aren't, doing that. Like, that sounds like bullshit. And let's call it for what it is. That's bullshit, because that's the stupidest thing ever. And you sitting there of a person with a brain and typing that in should have looked at it and said, yo, that don't make no damn sense. I'm gonna backspace this, delete. Yo, that's what you should have done. You left that up. Now you're being shown online showing how stupid that sounds, because that makes no goddamn sense. I know a whole bunch of streamers, and I know some of them that do OnlyFans, and even they don't have the restrictions. So what are you protecting from? Also, that Discord has been disbanded ever since she was outed for having OF. So what about that research? We're not going to talk about that though? Okay. Because I don't know her personally. Bro, you can go by people's, the way how they handle things, how they do things. I know she's unreliable as hell in her job as an ambassador. She's unreliable. She doesn't do anything right. She knows nothing about the game. She was given a big role that she tried to get. Like, you don't become ambassador just because you ask. You have to do certain things to get it done, right? So she worked for that to just not host events. Okay, so then there was something that someone said where they had said, like, she's banning people and she doesn't host any events, and that's what people keep talking about because that's the problem. Then this person responds, not gonna lie, it seems like you're only pressed because she's not hosting events. People are allowed to take breaks, and that's a completely separate issue. The real problem here is that this Nufftingz guy, which is hilarious because my last name, has already tarnished someone's reputation and is still using YouTube to spread more lies and confusion. How can you call someone strong and respectful when he's clearly got malicious intent to harm an official ambassador for his own personal gain, all while trying to pull people to side with him? The fact that he's a father acting this way speaks volumes about his character, and you're defending him? Well, that speaks volumes about you too. Okay. What are you talking about? He's not the only person that said that she's not hosting events, and it's irritating. This is what I'm trying to say. This has been a huge problem. People have been complaining for months, but they can't complain because they're getting banned for it. So how do people have a voice if they keep getting banned for it? It doesn't make sense. Like, shut up. Like, what are you talking about? He wasn't the only person to say that, but she bans and deletes the messages in the campfire. In general chat, they say this stuff and she deletes it. So then she bans them. So anyone that has any negative reaction to her, any criticism, they get banned. I've been saying this. Like, people are allowed to take breaks. We know that, dummy. We know that. But like I've said 100 million times, you have an obligation. You decided to become an ambassador. No one forced this to you. No one put a gun to your head and said, hey, you want to be an ambassador? No one did that. You went through all the steps to become ambassador to then not host. Like, what are you talking about, man? How did I tarnish anything? I only spoke the truth. Like, that was it. I was talking about you and you not doing the stuff. How am I bad? Okay, maybe I shouldn't have said anything. Maybe I've added fuel to the fire. Fine, whatever. But what lies in confusion? The only people representing for her are her own friends, which I totally understand. The people that are representing for me aren't even my friend. Okay, they're my friends now, but it wasn't like we grew up together. We didn't grow up together from kids. These are people I met through Pokemon Go. Nobody cares about all that. They care about the hosting. They want to get their rewards. And then you're talking about me as a father. My kids go to these events and are fine. So I had to then put up an announcement saying, "Yo, stop talking about my kids, bro. Like real talk. Like, there's no need to bring up my children in any of this because shut up. I don't bring up your monkey family. Like, why are you bringing up mine for? Leave my kids out of this. Like, what the hell?" So yeah, all that, like just because someone does not agree with you, it's a shit on their character. It's like I tarnish her reputation. Dude, on this channel I have 171 subs. Who's am I tarnishing? I am a nobody on YouTube. Like, let's be real here. I get a couple hundred views on my videos. I one time I got 3,000, but you know, I'm not a Daxi or a Brandon Tan. Now, can you imagine if they had did it? Oh my God, you'd be tarnished forever. But I'm not on that level. I've never been on that level. I would love to be on that level. I would love for people to listen to what I'm saying and be like, yo, this dude's on it. But it seems like my opinion is just old school now. And I sound like an old bag, honestly. And that's what I feel like. I'm not young. I'm not, one of those young dudes that are just, doing backflips and stuff. I did a backflip now, I'd break every bone in my body because I am not landing on my feet. I'm landing straight on my nose, bro. Anyways, this is what they're saying, right? Okay, fine. I don't understand how I tarnish this girl. Like, it never made sense to me. Like, why? How? Like, I don't know, man. I can't even, I can't even argue these things anymore because it's like, no matter what people say, they're not hearing this, right? I don't know, man. I I can't even I just ugh. All right, here's another one. How you guys still defending him when he literally admitted to photoshopping her out? This is about Pokemon Go, guys. Your purpose in life is to host meetups for a community that doesn't respect you and for a role that you will never get. Okay, now, the reason why my community isn't just jumping on this is because a lot of them are older with responsibilities and children. One person, and she knows who it is, she's probably listening to this right now, she woke up from a nap and got irritated when she read all this, like where campfire just blowing up with nonsense. Now, in these pictures too, there's one thing. You see how all these reactions, these engagements are like, it'll say 444. That is them, those 4 people that were talking nonsense, just liking their stuff. Like literally, it was just them. It's wild to me that you're mad at me for hosting meetups for a community that doesn't respect me. Who, and I even asked them, I go, show me proof they don't respect me. What are they going to say? Look, I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, toot toot, but when I go to these meetups, people know who I am. People talk to me. No one goes, oh my God. Well, maybe there's a couple, but they don't go, oh my God, get out of here. There's times when I'll be sitting there, and people just come up to me and be like, oh my God, you're Nufftingz. Thank you for hosting this. Like, I'm not tooting my own horn on this. I'm being dead ass, okay? Like, let's be real here. I make the effort. And honestly, nobody else wants to do it. Like, someone messaged me about how they were doing it down the west end of Saga, and nobody wanted to go. So they said, go to Nufftingz meetups. There's a dude from Brampton that comes out here, and he apparently comes with one of the ambassadors in Brampton. I don't know, I've never seen this guy, but he says that the ambassador in Brampton comes out because he has an issue with the ambassador in Mississauga. These people know, I don't need to be liked. All I got to do is host. I have goals. I've said this numerous times, and I'm not making this up. I've said I want to get a Go Fest out here. I've said I want to have lure parties. I want to do stuff like that. None of that has happened with our ambassador because they don't even host 90% of the time. So how am I the problem if you're not hosting? It doesn't make any sense to me. So this whole, oh, you're just doing this and nobody likes you, like, but your ambassador isn't doing it, so why are you mad at me? All right, so the last picture we're gonna talk about is this one, all right? Or not the last picture, but the last, message we're gonna talk about is this one. Okay, and I'm sorry I had to leave the name in because I didn't feel like rubbing it out. That sounds so wrong. Giggity. All right, this is what this person says. It was a reaction. It was, a direct message to this person, right? No one's trying to silence anyone, but there is a time and place for certain discussions, and the campfire isn't it. We don't tolerate harassment or personal attacks. If it's just a game, damn, then why has Nufftingz been spreading false rumors about Vibey having an OF? Attacking her character without knowing her and stalking her social and Discord under the guise of investigating. That's not freedom of speech, that's targeted behavior. Vibey has been addressing these issues privately from the back end. Oh, did I say her name? I'm sorry. And even offered to speak with him directly, which he refused unless it was filmed. Okay, now, let's go into this now. Okay, this one is a good one because I gotta break something good. Okay. We don't tolerate harassment or personal attacks. Is that not what you just did? You came into the thing to harass people and attack people personally. So you're telling me that homeboy who I had to talk to on Saturday, who now has turned his back on y'all, he wasn't attacking other campfires and your ambassador was allowing it? But she's talking about harassment and bullying, but yet you're allowing it to happen to other groups, but as long as it doesn't happen to you, it's okay. Now, stalking her socials and Discord. I didn't stalk anything. I don't know her socials. I knew her Discord because it popped up. I'm being dead ass. Look, let me tell you something, all right? She's a streamer, right? How am I stalking a streamer? I stream also. So, what am I doing? How am I stalking you? Now, I will say one thing. Me and my little brother, he's almost 30. He's a grown man. We were watching her content on YouTube and we're just dying with laughter because it was so boo-boo. Like, it was boo-boo. And he was like, now my little brother thought she was hot. When he saw her, he was like, oh my God, she's so hot. But he just couldn't stand her the way how she acted. And I was like, oh, well, whatever. And I know for a fact my brother could reel her in if he wanted to, bro. But, besides all that, right? I'm not spreading false rumors about the OF. I even said to this lady, because it's a chick, right? I said, look, that whole story with the OF was never started by me. That was what everybody was saying. And let me explain to you why. There was a dude, right? And once I say I'm not going to say the name, but once I say who it is, you're going to know exactly who it is if you live out here, if you're part of this community. This dude was a well-known player, right? He's not here anymore. He's gone to Calgary to live. He was the first person to spread that she was OF. It was him. It wasn't me. Sorry, brother. You're not even here anymore, so who cares, right? Also, no one's going to mess with this guy because he's a big dude, right? Like, he's a big, strapping fellow. No one's messing with this guy. But once I told you that, you know who it is, right? This dude has a nice career, makes big money, and said that, right? Why aren't you going after him? Oh, because he doesn't have the platform to say it, but he was the one who started. Also, this ambassador hangs out with people who have OnlyFans. You're also guilty by association. If I walk down the street with gang members and I'm sitting there with a shirt and tie, wouldn't I be associating with gangsters? Wouldn't I then, if I went into a store with 5 thugs, pants hanging down, whatever, look gangster as hell, bandanas everywhere, and they're robbing the store, but I'm not doing it, wouldn't I be guilty by association? Make it make sense, please. Like, make it make sense. You're guilty by association. You don't have it, but you sell spicy content and your friends have their own OFs. So how can you not be labeled as an OF at that point? Even if it was just a bullshit, even if it was just a nonsense thing and it wasn't true. I never started it. This dude started it. And honestly, it probably wasn't him that started. It was probably somebody else that started. And then it just trickled on. Like people, because then people come up to me and they go, yo, now everyone says, and this isn't because of me. Like I've said, my content does not reach millions of people. Not like if it did, then we'd have a huge problem for this girl. But my content is low. Like no one talks, no one sees my stuff. Hardly anybody sees my stuff. So you getting labeled as an OF is because that's what somebody said it and it just carried on. So leave me alone. It's like, that's not freedom of speech, that's targeted behavior. Vibey has been addressing these issues privately from the back end and even offered to speak with them directly. Okay. When she said she wanted to talk to me, which I've talked about before in detail, she's like, I want to privately talk to you about this. And I'm like, no, because if I privately talk to you about it, you're going to make up some bullshit story and say, I said this, I said that. Might even hit me with a suit, bro, like some sexual harassment thing or something. You know what I'm saying? No, I wanted people there to watch us talk. And what I meant was not only cameras, but do it in front of the community. Whoever wants to stay and watch, they can watch us talk. And then we could have came to a conclusion, came to an agreement on what to do. I would have done that and we could have probably killed this whole thing months ago. But you thought it was just for clout. And I'm like, no, I wanted to save my own behind from any type of Diddy accusations or anything. That's what I was doing because I don't trust you, homegirl. Why would I trust you? If I said to you, if I messaged this girl and I said, yo, let's talk privately, what would she say? She would have to come with her boyfriend or something. She would not do it alone. She would be like, nah, I don't trust that. So why can't I say the same thing? Oh, because I'm a guy. So I'm supposed to say, yeah. Oh, no. No, because I have more to lose than her. And I'm not losing anything because she wants to tell some fool lie. That's not happening over here. Like, I'm not stupid. Like, I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh yeah, let's go privately and talk. I wanted to talk at an event or after an event. We sit down at a table and we have a conversation, but people are there to make sure nothing pops off. That was it. So why is there an excuse for everything? Like, get out of my face. You want me to do all this, but I don't see any of this coming from Miss Thang. There was also something that they said where she doesn't have to answer you when you message her because of her own personal health or blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yo, you see, this is what I mean, man. You out here banning people, right? And yet, if anyone tries to talk to you, you don't answer. Like, you just starting problems, and then when people respond, you're just like, oh no, 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 no. I don't want to be I don't want to be bothered. Don't harass me. Like, oh, okay. Like, I don't just ban people for no reason. Like, it doesn't help me in any way. So I don't understand why we are doing this. But anyways, and at the end, this is to end it now. This has been a long video and I apologize. To end this video, I am going to say one thing. One of the people that got banned is someone that is a good friend of mine. And it's only been like 6 months that I really known this person and we became cool. She runs she's the admin of the Facebook, Mrs. Saga, Pokemon Go group, right? It's like Pokemon Go Mississauga, and it's in brackets, it says official. So she runs that. She's the admin, right? I don't know if she's like the top admin, but there's two others, and then there's me. So I became the admin, and I don't do anything wrong on there. And everybody's cool with it. All the other admins are cool with what I do. They're cool with what I say. They know that I'm trying to build something. But the thing is, people are so busy that they can't just join every meetup. They can't come to everything. They can't be involved in everything, right? Because people work, they got responsibilities, whatever, right? When she got banned, right? She then spoke at the end and started responding to these people and goes, look, y'all are not even people that I see in game. And like, this person's been playing since 2016 in this area, right? These in-game names, these IGNs, are nobody knows them. They're just new people causing problems. That is what they're trying to do. They're trying to destroy the community, and it doesn't make sense. Why would you do that? You know what I mean? Like, it's wild because all the OGs, all the people that would know everybody, don't know these people. You know how many times this one dude comes up to me and he'll be like, yo, Rob, you know these people? And he'll just show me all these lucky friends, and I don't know any of these people, man. I'll be like, oh yeah, I know that person, but I'm lucky friends with them, but I've never met them. Like, it's like we have so many of those. And people don't even know what to do. They want to delete them, but then they don't want to miss on a lucky trade, blah, blah, blah. Nobody knows any of these people. And we're talking like the list went down. There was like 100 people. I probably have 100 also. The point is, you new people come here and no one knows who you are. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, dude, why? But anyways, that was it, man. Like, these people don't know. We don't know who they are. They don't come up to us and say, hey, man, we're new. They hang out with the ambassador and they roll with her, and that's fine. But don't get mad when people react to your foolishness. That doesn't make any sense. Anyways, that's my video. Like and subscribe. And you know what? Let me know how it's going for you guys. I notice that these videos don't get a lot of comments anymore because I guess people are tired of hearing me talk about this. And I'm tired of speaking about it, honestly. But, let me know how it goes for you. Even if you join my Discord, come in there and say hi, speak up. I got a Discord too. It's not 18 plus. Don't worry. I'm not selling no feet pics. So yeah. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video.